Day 2 after affirming for 11 hours straight on a live stream in front of 4,000 people. Yesterday, I was pretty much talking to my ex all day, but this was totally from a different mindset. Like, I actually started seeing him in a totally different light, and I realized I don't care if you're in my life or not. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm going to have love. So it's either you or it's someone better. And that hadn't been my view of our relationship until I affirmed. It was like I didn't really even affirm for love. I just said, "Isn't it amazing? Everything in my life is so perfect." And I did that 10,000 times. And it's like I had no idea that I was allowed to break it off with him. Like, I didn't realize I was allowed to say, "This isn't good enough. This isn't what I want. I will have something better," period. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Consciously, I knew I was powerful, but it wasn't like being shown to me. It wasn't being proven to me until I was on the phone with him yesterday and on the video calls. And I was just like, I was disappointed in him. I was disappointed in the way that I'd been allowing him to show up. I even apologized. I was like, I have known my power this entire time consciously, and I just didn't enact it. I did not embody my power. And because of that, and people are going to be like, "That's not your fault," but he's partially paralyzed and he is in a bed, and he's the love of my life, and I knew that I could heal him, but I just hadn't been. And I didn't realize how much of my anger was being pushed on that guy. Like, I had no idea that I was so angry at him and always talking down to him and looking at him, viewing him in a bed and being like, that's all he's ever going to be. I had no idea that I was doing that. So I apologized to him yesterday. I'm like, it takes two to tango. You're not the villain. You're not the villain. And I'm sorry I made you the villain. And I'm sorry that I told all my friends you're the villain. And I'm sorry you just took that and ran with it. Like, I'm sorry that you had to fill that space in my life to be the villain. And down to the point where you're literally in a bed. And I now see how powerful I am. I can get you out of that bed. I know I can. I know I can. I'm the ultimate healer. I know who I am. I'm the fucking world's best manifestation coach. Like, I know who I am. And I know I can get him out of the bed. It's just like I didn't know how, really. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. It was all of this anger, all of this hatred for him. Like, why am I so angry and putting it all on one person? And it's like, I guess I'm hurt by mankind. And I really just took it out on one guy. And that's not even fair. It's not fair at all. And so I apologized. I cried yesterday. I got in love. There were so many breakthroughs that I was having. And it was like, it was the first time he'd ever said, like, let's just be friends. You know, you want to just be friends? And it was so weird too, because my roommate, she asked me in the kitchen, she's like, "How's it going? Like, how are things going?" And I asked her the same question about love. I was like, "How's your love life too?" You know? And she was like, "Oh yeah, the guy that came over, he's my ex-husband and we're just friends." And I was like, "Wait, you can just be friends with an ex?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, we know we're better off friends." Like, oh yeah, it's way better this way." And it was almost like the universe was trying to tell me, like, be friends with him, you know? Be friends with him. You don't have to have him as your partner, because we didn't do that well as partners. So, I mean, I guess I wrote it off. I never thought that I could have that. I didn't know I was allowed to decide. And I know this sounds so stupid. And I know as I say it, you're like, really? You didn't know you had options? But you guys, when I tell you I went to a different world, that's what I'm telling you. Okay? I'm in a totally different vibration. I'm in a different frequency. I'm in a totally fucking different reality where the empowered version of me that I am embodying now knows that I have options. But the mindset of the girl that I was did not think that I had options. She felt like she just had to take anything that was handed to her. That's literally what it was. I had to take anything that was handed to me. And well, anyway, that's completely over. That ship has sailed. I'm not that girl anymore. I now, I believe I can have the best of the best. So I'm going to have that. No one's going to stop me. Like, who could? I'm already in the new world where I get everything I want. So who could stop me? And one thing that I realized yesterday as well is that I think the reason none of this was happening, like the movement wasn't happening yet, is because I was affirming in my head instead of out loud. Now, I know that they say you're allowed to affirm in your head and it'll still get you everything you want. But I was listening to subliminals for years. I'm talking years, okay? Years I've been listening to subliminals. I've been affirming in my head for years. I've been scripting for years. It wasn't until I did this live stream where I spoke these affirmations 10,000 times. I feel genuinely like I broke spells. I broke a spell off of me. And it wasn't even just one. I feel like there were tons of curses on me and I eradicated them. I completely obliterated them. I deleted every single curse I think that's ever been on me. And it changed the game. I mean, I went live for 11 hours and I did 10,000 affirmations. And I just decided I'm dedicating myself to this. I'm going to spend the entire half the day talking to myself out loud and forcing my subconscious to hear that I'm locked in. And though I haven't seen too many, I actually have not really seen any 3D movement yet. I know it's coming. And things are moving. Things are progressing, though. I am noticing 3D movement, too. Like, I made a new friend yesterday. And, a beautiful viewer of mine. She lives in the state that I really wanted to live in already. I wanted to go there. And she was like, come on, come hang out with me and come live with me. And I was like, girl, please, don't even tempt me. Don't tempt me because I'm crazy enough to do some shit like that. So, anyway, that was movement in the 3D. I got an offer to come live with a goddess. Oh my God. So that's going well for me. I'm going to go maybe possibly visit a goddess. That would be nice. So anyway, I made a couple new friends on the internet in the last 2 days. I've made like 3 or 4 new really good friends. And then, I'm getting all these ideas for my business. I'm embodying the state of already being the best and already being in my perfect timeline. So everything has to conform. Literally everything naturally will fix itself to keep me here. You know, all the problems that I thought I had, like not being able to pay rent, I don't even have that problem right now. Like, though, if you were to look at my bank account, you'd be like, oh yeah, you're about to have that problem. But in my mind, I'm like, no, what problem? What do you mean? I can go anywhere I want. I own 1 million mansions. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's all about the mindset, and your physical matter changes after the mindset does. So I'm not stressed. I'm not worried. It's like, what am I worried about? This is a video game and I run this shit, you know? And oh, by the way, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to do another 10,000 affirmation challenge. At first I was like, nah, fuck that. That's way too many. I don't want to do that long again. But the changes that has happened to me, it's worth it. I think I might do another 10,000 because I think I'm going to affirm something next time about revision. I might do an affirmation challenge next week, doing something about like revision. Like, I've always had enough money, or I've always been so successful, or I've always been the best at this. I've always been the best at this, you know, something like that. Because I really like these blanket statements. And when using revision, which is one of my favorite techniques, I like to use always. I always had this. I've always had money. I've always been the best. I've always been with him, and I've always been so happy. And I think that I might do that next week. So if you guys want to subscribe and see that next week, oh God, it was so fun. I really loved our live stream, guys. There were so many people. I had 4.5 thousand viewers on that stream so far. There were people that would show up from the past, like I haven't talked to in months, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, hey, how you doing? And I met new people. I met people that were encouraging. I did not meet many people that were hating on me. I just zoomed past it. I would just be like, isn't it amazing? Everything in my life is so perfect. Isn't it amazing? Everything in my life is so perfect. And I basically overwhelmed the chat. People were, if they were sitting there listening to me, they were forced to listen to the higher vibration that I was emitting. There was not any space for trolls. I flooded the trolls out. They were not allowed to be there. And my moderators took care of it anyway. So they were gone. They were gone in like 2 seconds. Like, even if I saw a shit comment, it was gone so fast. And basically, it's just like I overpowered the chat for the positive. Instead of letting trolls get me down and be cruel and stuff and hate on me for no reason at all, I actually was like, no, I'm going to love on me for no reason at all. I'm going to be pure love right now. And then I was like, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it so great? Everything in my life is literally perfect. Everything in my life is perfect. No, everything, literally everything in my life is perfect. And it started to get to this point where I started believing it. Like, I was getting in this psychic trance almost, where I started seeing solutions to problems that I've had for months. And I started seeing new homes that I lived in. And I started seeing a new man in my mind's eye, like a guy that's coming towards me. I started seeing all of these things. Like, what would a perfect life entail? Naturally, these images were placed in my mind by my higher self. They were naturally put in my head because I was bleeding over into that timeline, that version of me that already has the groceries delivered. So what was so crazy is I didn't have food. When I did this, I did not have any money for food. I was broke as a joke. I didn't know how I was going to eat. I didn't know. All I was left to in my fridge was like eggs and some beans. And I remember I thought, I'm going to see groceries being delivered to me. And I'm going to see me putting away groceries. Well, I kept saying, isn't it amazing? Everything is so perfect. And it naturally popped in my head. Me picking up groceries, putting it in the fridge. The naturalness of the visualization is what shocked me. And yeah, sure enough, I got a $30 gift from somebody, and they got me a couple groceries. I couldn't even believe that. I was like, are you serious? Like, I kept visualizing groceries, and then boom, one of my longtime viewers, a former client, came to me, gave me $30. And she's like, girl, you've got this. Like, go on, Jenna. Go on with your bad self. So, I mean, I was able to buy groceries, and I was like, this is so good, God. I thank you, Lord. Like, this is so good. Like, the almighty Lord, my higher self, can see all of this, right? It already knows the solution. It already knows that it's done. I already had groceries in my mind's eye, so it's going to naturally happen like that. So it was so life-changing that I really want to do this again. Even when I told everybody, I was like, fuck this, I'm never doing this again. But now I kind of do. Like, the changes are so profound. Like, I want to do this again. So I think maybe in a couple days, maybe in a week, I don't know, something like that. I'll do one, like, I always have more than enough, or I'm always so wealthy, or I've always been so successful, or something. But one of the coolest things too is how many people were like, I had 3 people tell me they were going to either download an app, a counter app, and start doing the same thing, or that they were so grateful they got to witness it because they didn't know how powerful affirmations were. People have been literally flocking to me and saying, like, I can't believe how fun you made this look. I want to do this. I want to do this. And it's just crazy. I've been meeting so many cool new people, and I've been getting so many offers and so many opportunities, and it's wild. It really is so wild. But yeah, I just want to keep going because, well, 1, I don't have a choice. This is a lifestyle, and you have to take it on. You can't stop. But 2, I don't want to stop. I feel so fucking good. I don't want to stop. It's like drinking clean water in a desert. Why would you want to stop? It tastes like that good. You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to stop? It's like I broke so many curses. Money curses, love life curses, success curses. Like I ended a cycle for myself in one day. And I kept hearing my spirit guides talk about the Bible when in the book of Revelation, I think it is, at the last trumpet, in the blink of an eye, God's people will be raptured. It's giving that. God's church is being raptured. Your higher self within is being forcefully and quickly removed to a higher timeline, a higher dimension, a higher frequency. So the God self is being redeemed and being rescued and being immediately brought in, like so fast overnight, into a higher timeline. You guys are literally being rescued from an old world. And that old world is crumbling so fast. Your focus is not on the dying, decaying world. It's on this new one so much that the only thing that can happen is you're building a new world and you're going to be shifting into it. It's so easy. And it's not even hard. It's not laborious. You don't need to do shit. It's already there for you. You're just shifting into it. And one other thing too, which was kind of crazy, is I realized, I had not been thinking very forward, like a few months, a few years into the future. When you're homeless, you get to that point where everything is just so scary. And it's like, oh, I hope I can pay my rent. I hope I can buy groceries. I hope I can pay my phone bill. You don't even realize that you're basically pre-programmed on autopilot to only think of tomorrow. And you don't even realize it, but it's a fight or flight mode. It's fight or flight mode. And you're always on the survival mode, right? So I didn't realize that I was constantly doing that, like only ever thinking about, oh, I hope I have enough money for today. I hope I can at least buy today's meal. Instead of seeing myself in the future in a home with my husband, cooking dinner, having something great, having a personal chef. Like, I didn't see that. I didn't see that millionaire side of myself, that billionaire side of myself. I only could see, because of a curse, I feel so many people put curses on me. I feel like they spoke death over me so many times over my life that I believed it. And I had to go uncurse myself by speaking life over me 10,000 times. And I didn't know what it was like to start thinking about, like, okay, what would it be like if you had money, not to just buy like groceries for today, but to see your beautiful, gorgeous, huge ass stainless steel, fully stocked fridge full of organic, non-GMO nuts and seeds and healthy legumes and all these like amazing meals, and your professional chef and your hubby that is just like constantly taking care of you, and money coming to you constantly, and your brand new high paying clients. And what would it be like? And I never really could get that far. It really was a curse. I really was cursing my own self with my own third eye. My own imagination was only looking at the problem. The example I gave my ex was, if you go to karate chop a board, you're supposed to visualize your hand going through the board. You're supposed to visualize the success, the feeling of, wow, I broke it, I did it. But instead, my hand was just constantly on the board, on the board, on the board. And it that's a lot of pain. All I was manifesting was more things to be in pain over. It's like the financial difficulties that I was having. It was like I gave the universe more and more to give me financial trouble for, like more bills and debt and what, or an overdraft fee, or I can't pay for this grocery because this just went up in price, or whatever. It always had to be that way because I was making it be that way. I gave the universe no other choice but to limit my money, limit my funds. If I would have imagined paying bills all the time, handing money out, putting money in an envelope, stuffing money in an envelope and handing it to people, the universe would be forced to conform to that and put so much money in my account that I can give it out. If I would have seen myself paying bills and paying rent on time, then I would have had money to do so. But instead, I would constantly see the struggle, like hitting my hand on the board. I would see like my bank account. Why would a billionaire look at their bank account? They don't. They just go live life knowing they have it. They don't even look at their bank. So I was literally doing the things that an impoverished person would do. And if you're really a millionaire, wouldn't you be paying bills easily? Okay, then. Go into your imagination and pay bills easily. And if you can't get there and you can't do it on autopilot, well, here's what you do. You just affirm. You literally just keep speaking out loud. I am literally so rich all the time. It's crazy. I'm always so rich. I am always so wealthy. Money is literally constantly begging to be with me. Whatever it is, I strongly suggest that you do it from an I have or an I am. And also do it in the present tense. Or I feel abundant. I feel so rich. Or I speak life. I speak abundance into my world. I'm constantly feeling so rich. But either way, do it in the present moment and do it in the present tense. And yeah, I think you'll find that it starts to reprogram your brain to where it's on autopilot, that you start thinking you can easily pay bills. You'll start visualizing more and more bills being paid. Like just naturally in your head, you will just see envelopes of money better. You'll just see yourself handing money to people. You'll see yourself at the ATM, boop, 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 pulling out money. Like you're just going to see clearer the reality that you do want, because you've always been psychic. Okay. You've always been visually able to see something, but you've just been cursed. You were just cursed by your own self, unfortunately, because you believed the projections that people were putting on you. So go break that. Go break the spell. It's really easy. I did it in 11 hours. I'm going to keep doing it. Anybody who'd been speaking death over me, poverty over me, they're never going to be able to again. Like even my ex, we talked last night and he even changed. Like he had to change because everything in my life is perfect. So of course he's changing. He literally texted me this morning so lovey-dovey and like, I love you and I can't wait to talk to you and I'm cleaning up my space and I'm busy right now, but I'm doing so well. And he had to. Everyone is changing. Everyone is conforming to match my new reality, So of course he changed. And of course I can have him. And of course I can have him and someone better if I want. I can have anything. So I'm noticing that my mindset is the thing changing. I might not have noticed too many 3D physical changes, but I have. I got groceries. That's a big physical change. I got my ex-boyfriend to text me the most sweet, lovey-dovey things I've ever heard from him ever on a video call. Like we had the most deep, open dialogue we've had. So things are changing. I made a new friend, actually 2 new friends, and a goddess that invited me to come live with her in a state that I want to be in. So I'm just saying, things really are moving. So I just have to keep affirming that everything in my life is literally perfect. Everything's being taken care of. Everything in my life is so perfect. And it gets to a point where it doesn't even feel like you're faking it. It's real. It's not even fake. It doesn't even feel fake. It feels like it's genuine. All right, guys. I love you. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.